It's January 2021. Her business, her voice, her conversation is opening up the year to women of substance. They are women of leadership, moxie, and spirit.
Welcome to Her Business, Her Voice, Her Conversation. This podcast was created for the boomer woman leaving corporate, and now you're looking to reinvent yourself, become an author, an entrepreneur, a podcaster. Well, each episode will leave you with clarity. You will come away with the yes, I can and yes, I will reinvent myself mindset. So come on, let's do this. I'm your host, Margot Levette.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Another episode, Her Business, Her Voice, Her Conversation. Well, today I have a former U.S. Air Force reservist, and while we were off screen, I definitely said thank you for your service, and I definitely mean it. But she has a very intriguing life post Air Force reservist. She is a best-selling author, and what I love is that she takes care of people in business, but she does it from the inside out as she has created the Gulf Coast Training and Educational Services LLC. I can't wait for us to dig into all of the services that she offers so that be you a small business or the person behind the small business, she's getting you ready for success. So help me introduce and welcome Sheila Farr. Sheila, thank you for being here today.
Marco, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate the opportunity to be here with you.
Oh my goodness. You are a woman that wears many hats, but the common denominator is that you extend yourself to people. You did it when you were a reservist. You do it now. So give us a little insight into who is Sheila Farr? How did you get this appetite for helping people in business?
Well, I think I was really just born that way. I think it's one of those things that God kind of put in me from the start. And as a child, I loved, my parents were supporters of other people and they loved to see people succeed. And I loved to sit at our dinner table when people would visit and just listen to stories of things that they were doing in business and failures and successes and, how they overcome those things. And just listen to my parents and watch them really be encouragers for other people, whether it be our family members or friends of theirs. They just always were very big encouragers. And I think what that did for me is it honestly made me, like I say in my bio, a lot an eternal optimist. I'm always looking for the positivity, not only in people, but in situations. And as I started to school, I really wanted to be a teacher. That's what I started to school as. But then I got a little part-time job and I fell in love with working. I just fell in love with, meeting new people and doing different things. So I just kind of gravitated into the human resources field, went into the military, and then I worked in the medical field as a human resources director for a few years, and then transitioned over to medical services as an administrator for medical practices. And of course, that just kind of that was just a huge opportunity for me to go in so many different directions and learn things. But I have a love for people and seeing people succeed. I just love being the spark plug or the connector for people to kind of help them reach their passion and live their passion. And especially, like you said, for small businesses, I love it when people come to me with an idea, but they don't know how to get where they want to go. So we just kind of sit down and build a roadmap for them. And like you said, we kind of look at how they're doing on the inside. Are they really ready? Is this what they really want to do? And do they really understand the commitment to it? Because operating and owning a business is a huge commitment. It's not just, the cute stuff that you see on Facebook or social media or in advertising. Yeah. It's hard work and it's dirty and it's, frustrating some days. So, I just try to work with people and make sure that they're ready to take that step and that we build them up for success. So it's been a blast. And I absolutely adore what I do. So I'm very thankful for that.
I can tell it's just bubbling all over you. You can tell when a person is doing what they're supposed to do because they could talk about it all day and all night.
Right.
I'll bet you still study HR. And I would imagine everything that is of interest as far as management, leadership, all those things that we have to have in place so that we can succeed as small business owners. You probably eat, sleep, drink, and just dream these things, don't you?
I absolutely do. And I love learning. So I'm still, just a lifelong learner in my 50s now, mid 50s. And I'm still, every opportunity I have to sneak away with a book, I take it because I absolutely love reading.
Well, you put in 25 years of experience in these fields for corporate, and then you branched out on your own. You're there in Biloxi, Mississippi,
Yes.
there in the Gulf Coast.
Yes.
Tell us about Gulf Coast Training and Educational Services, LLC. What does that bring to the community? What does that say? And since you're online, what does that bring to the world?
Well, it's funny that you mention it like that because just recently I had somebody say, why did you give your business a name that's so regional? And I told them, well, 3 years ago when and I always say it's a holy push that I got because I didn't have an idea to start a business. It just came out of, it was born from feeling a little bit boxed in and limited in my corporate job. So I just needed more. I felt like I was made for more. I felt like if I could step out and do something on my own, I would have an opportunity to make a larger impact for people. So that's kind of where Gulf Coast Training and Education Services came. And but it's been really, this year has been very challenging, but also very full of blessings at the same time because it's allowed us, as you said, to kind of pivot and take some things online and virtual. So now we're not limited to the Gulf Coast. I have people that I'm working with over in Europe and Australia and all around the U.S. So it's been just an incredibly exciting time for me. But when you look at our list of services that we have, well, we started with just basic business, customer service, medical type courses that we taught, but now we branched out. We do personnel development, we do business strategies, we do human resources, we do virtual human resources for people. We even do health and wellness, and I'm a yoga instructor and Tai Chi instructor, so we do that too. So we just try to meet people where they are and provide the services that they need that will really help them be successful, whether it be a personal journey that they're on or a business journey. So we're just really concerned with seeing people succeed.
Wow. I tell you, when I paid a visit to your website, the business website, I was just blown away. And someone may say, well, isn't that all the courses are? How are they connecting? Maybe it's shiny object type of thing. But no, you hit the nail on the head. Tai Chi, yoga, stress reduction, self-development, all of that speaks to us really blossoming and maintaining and growing as entrepreneurs. So I am totally excited. The HR people. So now this, for a small business that wants to have an employee handbook, maybe they've taken on 2 or 3 people. They don't need an HR department, but they could come to you and find out how to get that book together and all the laws of HR. Right. Oh my goodness. So, gosh, what you offer are personal growth, professional education, business HR, business compliance. What I like, and explain a little bit more about the one-on-one. Who really needs to come and work with you all one-on-one?
Well, it's been a really interesting transition and evolution, I guess, in the business because several of my current clients are my former employers. Wow. So they would come to me and tell me, okay, we know that you're really good at compliance. Since you left, we haven't really kept up what you started when you were here. So could you come back and manage this for us? So I don't need to be in Atlanta, Georgia anymore or Washington, D.C. I can be right here in Biloxi, Mississippi. I still know the rules and the laws and, I still can look at those things up and keep keep those businesses on track as far as their compliance is concerned. I had another employer who reached out to me because they were kind of stalled in their annual compliance training. So no worries for me. We just developed a virtual training for them, and now we just keep it up every year. We update everything, and we do their annual training just right online. And then it's I have churches that I've worked with, women's groups that I kind of work with on a regular basis. I had a sweet little yoga class in a little small town in Georgia. And when I moved to the coast, we really missed each other. So I started doing online yoga for them. But, it never occurred to me to make it, to do it on a larger scale. I was just doing it for my friends in that little small women's group at the church. So that's just how we evolved. And you're right. I often, people say it does look like I'm kind of all over the place, but it's really neat because it's actually been a revolution into those things. And then I have insurance companies that come to me and they need a specific type of training. And because I've had a background in insurance and medical processes and procedures, it's super easy just to kind of make a few tweaks in our program and give insurance companies something that they could use for training too, whether it be workplace conflict or team building and development. That's one of my very favorite things because I love personality assessments and team building and helping managers understand where their people fit in their plan. And having the right person in the right seat in an organization is extremely important for success. So, and a lot of times people they have the right people, but they have them in the wrong place. So finding out what people's strengths are, what their aptitudes and abilities and what their passions are, what they actually like to do, that makes a huge difference. And sometimes an organization can take what they're doing, make just a few adjustments, and it makes a major impact in the outcome. Just by the people that they have and the processes that they're doing, their workflow processes.
Wow. You remind all of us to take a look at what we know, what we already know, where we've been, and what we can tweak and present and turn it into a business. Oh my goodness. Do you know the amount of hope that you are able to deliver and deposit in people's lives just because you're not just telling people how to do these things, you've done it and you're doing it and you're showing them how to do it. This is what business is all about. And Sheila, tell me what you think. I believe that because of how things have changed this year in particular, we're never going to go back. Some people are never going to go back to the office. Yeah. And so we don't know about the workplace culture and that type of thing, how that's going to evolve, who it's going to take along with it. So now if we all look at what our strengths are, what our passions are, what we love to study, that's a business.
It is. And Margot, this is the age of the expert. And if any life lesson that you've had, any education that you have, anything that people come to you and they ask your opinion or for help, and repeatedly, if people are coming to you and asking you the same question over and over, well, guess what? You're an expert in that area. If people are coming to you for your opinion and help, you can turn that into a business online, virtually, and you can do things not just in your community or with your friends, but you can do that globally because people now are looking for people that do have those experiences, that have been through that. And you and I spoke months ago as on one of the books, and we were talking about finding your voice and the importance of getting your story out there, and how what you do and who you are and the experiences you've had can serve as a survival guide for other people. So, it's imperative, not only in business, but also in life. We are our own self-help books,
Yes.
It just turning to the people that we know and that we have in our network. This is the time. And to me, I think it's incredibly exciting because it opens up so many doors and so much possibility. It takes a little bit of self-discipline to do those things. And it takes a little bit of for folks that aren't very tech savvy, takes a little bit of tech help, but it's super easy to find. And when you have a network that that supports and encourages you and lifts you up, and you have people in your network that are connectors, oh man, we've got it made.
Yes.
This is the time. So it's very exciting to me.
You touched on a couple of really important thoughts. It's important now is the time to claim and own your position of expertise, but don't try to do that alone. Get with a mastermind. Invest. Now is the time to invest in yourself. Go there to Gulf Coast. Let me make sure I have it correct. Gulf Coast Training and Education Services, LLC. Make that connection so that when you do launch out, your structure and your foundation is laid correctly so that you don't get frustrated and you say, I should have done this anyway.
Yes.
No, Sheila's completely correct. Now is the time to take your stand. You spoke of something that was coming around the corner here. You are a 2-time best-selling author.
I am. It's been an incredible year. Both of those came about this year, and they're books about women who are overcoming obstacles and doing great and amazing things. The first one, Trailblazers Who Lead, was really about people and women in business who are like really handling their business, and people don't really know that they're out there because they're kind of doing things behind the scenes and doing things quietly. And that was me. I was kind of just doing my own thing out here in Biloxi. And, the visionary Kern Cherry just kind of was like, hey, I see you over here doing all this stuff, and you need to tell us what's going on. And so the moment I opened my mouth, which is something that, believe it or not, as much as I'm talking here hasn't always been an easy thing for me. But the moment I just said yes to that and decided to go ahead and help others find their voice and use their voice in a way that can keep them encouraged and motivated, but also can help other people. Man, the moment I did that, opportunities just kept falling. The universe just started heaping opportunities. And I always, was such a good reminder to me that, you just say yes to the thing that is not comfortable for you. And then the things that are comfortable for you come so much easier to you. So.
Oh, goodness. You say that you weren't always the communicator that you are now. And look at you now, communicating to the world. So you were in Trailblazers Who Lead. And tell us about this upcoming publication, this book that's going to be published in January, I believe.
It is. So I'm part of an incredible anthology called Finally Free. And it is another book about overcomers. It's a book about people who have, it could have been a personal obstacle, could have been professional. It could have been an internal struggle. I know that my chapter in the book is really about an internal struggle that I thought was an internal struggle. But when I sat down and actually kind of evaluated what happened in my life, to kind of make me play small in the way that I approach things and kind of sit back and not really use my voice and not really be a good steward of the gifts that the Lord gave me. Once I realized that, hey, I started doing this way back here and here's why, oh my gosh, it just freed me of so much. It was like you could literally feel the chains falling off. And that's, again, it was this year, and that's why I'm so thankful for all the crazy things that have happened this year, because it's forced me to kind of take some time and be still and be a little bit introspective and kind of, be reflective and meditative and just kind of really look at life and how amazing it is, and how we shouldn't be afraid to take the opportunities, and how don't play small. If you feel like you're in a place where people have you boxed in and you just know you want to fly, baby, fly. Just spread those wings and take off, because you will be supported and you will be successful. And we limit ourselves with our own little brain thinking, but we weren't designed to be that way. So once you reconcile that with yourself, man, you're just free, finally free. So
I feel the freedom. I see the freedom as you deliver who you are, and you own who you are and what you've done, which is really quite remarkable. You have freed yourself. You've owned yourself. Gosh, Biloxi, where do you have a walk-in storefront, or are you totally digital? I think I need to let people know.
Both. I
Both.
have both. So we do have an office in downtown Biloxi, but we haven't been there too much because we've, especially now, we've had a kind of an increase in the COVID cases here in Mississippi. So our mandates are a little bit different. So we do have a storefront, but it's easier to catch me virtually. And I am all over the place. I'm all over Facebook. I'm all over Instagram or LinkedIn. And our website is there. I also write an inspirational blog. You can find me there. So it's super easy to find me.
Give us the name of your blog, Sheila.
Absolutely. It's thankfulandblessed365.com. So, and it just, and it just, I'm a person of faith. So the writings are from the Bible, and just how I relate the Bible to my life and how God works in my life, and how I hope that others can come to be a little more hopeful and joyful in the way that they live every day.
Every day, 365. Mm-hmm. I love it. Wow. One final question, and I hate to bounce back, but I just want people to understand what your vision. You're planning to add any other classes and courses digitally for 2021, just to pique people's interest?
I'm so glad you asked that question, because it's wonderful with the books that we've written this year, and then going out and speaking to people or doing virtual speaking. So we've gotten kind of some requests to do courses based on the books. So that's what we'll be doing. So I actually am just finishing up my finally free course modules. Should finish those up next week. So launching January 1st. If anybody wants to know more about finding your voice, which was my chapter in Trailblazers, it'll be about how to create and craft your story, how to free yourself of things that are holding you back and limiting beliefs. And in business, what are the first steps that you need to make? And for the second book, which is called Courageous Enough to Launch, that again is talking about how to overcome obstacles when you're in a place and you think you need to do something different, but you're not exactly sure what you need to do. How to kind of take a self-assessment and determine, if you really need to step out of that 9 to 5, or if you just need to have talk with your supervisors and climb that corporate ladder. What fits you better, and then what are the steps again that you need to start small and right where you are with your business, so you can make those small steps while you're still doing something else. So you kind of have that safety net. That's for people who aren't quite sure they're ready yet. And then with Finally Free, it's just really taking a look at those limiting beliefs that we place on ourselves, and how to unleash ourselves of that limiting and little mind thinking. So
yes. Oh my goodness. Look at the sequence of everything. Oh my goodness. It's no wonder that the ones that have listened to you they want all in on the sequence, the life and the teachings.
Wonderful.
Yes, it really is quite exciting, and you feel the liberty. I believe that if a person would just take time to take your course, to connect with you, you can change their life totally. I really feel that. So I know that there are a lot of places and you told us about where we can find your blog, where we can connect with your blog. But is there one place in particular you want us to go where everything is housed, so that we know? I just want to send people so that they can say, oh yeah, I'm here. I found her.
That would be my website, probably gulfcoasttraining.org. So if you go to gulfcoasttraining.org, you'll see everything that's yoga related, the books that are available, the courses that are available, both the personal and professional courses that are there. And like I say, if you need something and you don't see it there, please ask about it, because if I can't offer it, I definitely know somebody who can and who can help people out. And I'm a huge believer in connecting people to the right person. And I might not always be the right person, but I know the right person. So.
Wow. Powerful lady. Powerful, powerful you are, woman of faith and doing what you're supposed to do in this life. Wow, Sheila Farr, it has been awesome to speak with you. To you are giving hope to so many people globally. Isn't it exciting that you have the storefront, but you are so huge globally now, and you took that
That's
on
fun.
without, I would imagine, with some intrepidation, but you did it. That's
Right.
huge.
Yeah, it's fun because I truly don't, if I see somebody in need and I can help them, if I have what they need, I'm going to give it to them. I'm not going to, say, oh, I'm sorry, I can't do that. No, I want to see people succeed. I want to see people smile, and I want them to, uh, I want people to recognize their dreams and just go for it. Enjoy your life. We only get one time around the sun. Let's just make it the best we can.
I'm going to close out on that. The cheerleader has spoken. Sheila Farr, thank you so much for joining me here today. I want everybody to know that Sheila is going to be featured in Womb Lead magazine. I would definitely let everybody know when that comes out. I think it's in December of 2020, but I'll keep everybody posted. Podcasts are evergreen. So if you hear this, some people will hear this episode in 2030, if the world is still around. But I'm anxious to see how that article turns out, because this is one fabulous lady, and it's an honor to have a conversation with you. So
Thank you so much, Margo. I appreciate you having me here, really.
um,
I love you to pieces, so I appreciate this so much.
I feel as though I've known you for a long time. But wow, it's always so hard to close out on a good conversation, but everybody knows we have to do it. So I'm Margo Levant. I'll be back next week with a brand new episode here. Her business, her voice, her conversation. Wash your hands, stay safe, and I'll see you next week. All right. Bye-bye now.
I want to thank you for listening to Her Business, Her Voice, Her Conversation. Couple of things that I want you to do right now. Go to my website, pick up a copy of Her Business, Her Voice, Her Reinvention, how I went from game show hopping to international show host, author, and speaker in 1 year. Number 2, please freely listen to each and every episode. Share them out with your family, friends, the men in your lives. And then number 3, get in contact with me, one of the experts that have been on the show, because I want to make sure that you reinvent yourself. I'll be back next week with a brand new episode here on Her Business, Her Voice, Her Conversation.